Robert Rauschenberg's monumental triptych Autobiography from 1968 describes the life of the artist in 3 substantial lithograph prints, combining to stand at almost 16 feet tall. Each panel illustrates an aspect of Rauschenberg's being, with images of his life layered over and coupled with personal and professional achievements and challenges. Rauschenberg intended for the 3 panels to be displayed either horizontally or vertically in this order. Reading from the left, the first piece depicts Rauschenberg's zodiac star chart overlaid on an X-ray of the artist's body. His own sign, Libra, intersects with the X-ray's head. Rauschenberg held a particular interest in the relationship between science and art, a fascination also held by the master artist and inventor Leonardo da Vinci. In a possible allusion to his work, Rauschenberg's Libra chart encircles the skeletal figure, recalling the composition of da Vinci's Vitruvian Man. The images of an umbrella and bicycle also point to Rauschenberg's interest in machinery and invention through his prolific creations of gluts in the 1980s. During this time, Rauschenberg explored combinations of technology and art using discarded metal, plastic, and textiles from machines to create visual reincarnations in sculpture. This panel presents as a page in Rauschenberg's autobiography, giving the viewer a subtle yet uninhibited glimpse into an aspect of his creative process. The central print in this series reads in a literal sense, containing more text than image. At the center of the composition is an image of Rauschenberg and his parents boating on the Port Arthur Bayou in the fall of 1927. This photo serves as the source from which his spiraling recollections of life begin. To further emphasize the photograph, Rauschenberg frames it with a red Necker cube, an optical illusion meant to challenge the viewer's perception and senses, aligning with the broader visuals of Autobiography. Rauschenberg's written chronology of his life begins on October 22, 1925, the day of his birth, and spans from early childhood to his years as an adult, navigating his many struggles and successes in the art world. Rauschenberg reduces his complex, lived realities to a few words. When speaking of his formative period at Black Mountain College, he summarizes it as having worked hard but poorly for Albers, referring to the work he produced under the rigorous professor Joseph Albers. Rauschenberg also records who was present as each chapter of his life and career occurred. Susan Weil, Merce Cunningham, Cy Twombly, and John Cage, all artists deeply involved with Black Mountain College, are included in the autobiographical spiral with endearing context. When recalling works created in his Fulton Street studio, Rauschenberg comments on Cage's support, stating that John Cage was also a great source of inspiration. It was a rich exchange. The black words on the white background create a sort of hypnotic spiral which dominates the composition and draws the viewer in, forcing a level of physical interaction as one moves their head to absorb his life story. Not only do Rauschenberg's words encapsulate a written summary of the key points and people in his lifetime, but they also present as a fingerprint, a visualization of Rauschenberg's distinct and unparalleled identity. In this print, a large image of Rauschenberg's 1963 performance in Pelican immediately meets the eye. Below and to the left are photos of a Manhattan skyline and a series of looming water towers, the view from Rauschenberg's first New York City studio on Fulton Street. Overlaying these images is a map of the Gulf Coast of Texas, near Rauschenberg's birthplace in Port Arthur. At first glance, elements may appear fragmented, but as we investigate them further, we are able to piece together a commentary on Rauschenberg's life. The photograph of Rauschenberg performing in Pelican covers a large portion of the print's composition and immediately draws the viewer's eye in with its line of movement and light, airy quality. Rauschenberg created Pelican with Merce Cunningham, the two choreographing and designing the performance for the Washington, D.C. Pop Festival. Rauschenberg contributed to the piece with his parachute contraption, roller skates, and choreography, which he created with Carolyn Brown. Rauschenberg's designs harken back once again to the work of Leonardo da Vinci, and the striking invention makes Rauschenberg appear to take off in flight. However, the neon green Necker cube at his feet grounds him, and he instead bridges the realm between earth and sky. The repetition of circular and rectangular motifs within the series bring the seemingly disjointed prints together to succeed in one cohesive work. The Libra star chart, hypnotic spiral of words, and parachute from Rauschenberg's Pelican performance bring rhythm and consistency to the series. Similarly, the Necker cubes in both the second and last print of the three give a sense of closure and balance to the entirety of the composition. The personal photographs introduced into the prints from Rauschenberg's lifetime reflect a level of self-awareness and introspection in the artist. X-rays of his own body and photos from his youth create markers of identity, while photos of his work alongside textual elements capture pivotal moments in his career. The sprawling Manhattan skyline and water towers also ground the composition with a sense of place. Rauschenberg's Pelican parachute allows him to fly through the past, producing frames of each facet of himself in the process. Autobiography serves to remind the viewer that although Rauschenberg's career in the art world was a great success, his identity will always encompass his formative past and humble beginnings.